Just make sure my phone is on silent. It's coming up to
Because it
say
doesn't
that we are
stop
live.
ringing. Next advisory, we're live again, and my word, mate, it's been a little while, isn't it? Well, we're going to start doing these every month, demonstrating
Well,
some.
it's been the following month, hasn't it? This is our once a month, 7 p.m. Tuesday time slot. So
Yep.
where you might normally sit down and watch maybe Ellen, because you're catching up from your daytime trashy TV, or wanting to perhaps reroute that Netflix time into some learning time. This is the slot to be doing it.
Yeah, Hillary Barry and Jeremy Wells. Don't know which one of us is who, but maybe the accounting
look,
who.
we could flip a coin. But hey, look, if they're worried about that, they can catch up on the old Plus One TV.
That's right. Next Advisory TV coming to you live tonight. We're going to be talking about some of the things that you can integrate into Xero to get better use of it. Often we see people linking their bank accounts, and that's about it. So we want to touch on a couple of ways that you can get a bit more out of it. And I think straight into it, one of the massive hacks that our clients are using and that smart business owners are embracing around the country is they are linking up Stripe with Xero, which is allowing them to take payment of their invoices via a credit card, even if they don't have credit card facility set up with their current bank. So that is...
Whoa, back up the bus, mate. So you're telling me that if I'm a business owner and I don't have a merchant facility, I can go on and use this thing called Stripe and take people's credit cards for my invoices so that I get paid quicker.
That is exactly what I am telling you, Phil. Yep. So obviously you need to set up a Stripe account to start with, which is very, very simple, especially if you've got a New Zealand company. So you want to go to stripe.com and follow your nose.
Stripe.com. I was just going to say, where do the punters go to sign up to Stripe? So stripe.com.
Stripe.com, sign up for that, get that all registered, enter your tax details, enter your bank account you want the money to go into, and then you want to go into Xero. We can probably show you this on the screen at some stage. You dive into it. Do you want to pull it up now?
There we go. So you've set up Stripe, haven't you, for one of your many ventures? And I know I think I set up Stripe for us at Next Advisory, and I can definitely attest to the fact that it is a very straightforward process.
Yeah, it is very, very simple. It's very follow your nose. It's minimal clicks. It's minimal information. They want to get you on there because they want to, keep growing themselves. So
gone are the days of having to potentially knock on the bank's door and fill out 15 pieces of paper with all the information that they've got about you already, sign it in original form, and then send it back to them with 13 pieces of supporting documentation confirming your identity, to have 3 weeks later the ability to take credit cards.
That's right. It's very, very simple. And Xero are going to keep driving this sort of technology, aren't they, mate? Because one of their biggest missions is to decrease the amount of time or speed up the amount of time that it takes for businesses to get paid. So we're trying to decrease that lag between invoice gets sent, money gets received. And this is one of the ways that they've gone about helping business owners achieve that.
Yeah, and look, I would add, as much as I just mugged off New Zealand banks at their paper-based processes, the one thing to be mindful of with a platform like Stripe is their payment clearing timeframes. They are a little bit longer than banks, and I'm not too sure what their fees are like. So if you're a much, much bigger organization accepting a huge volume of credit card transactions and want to get that cash into your bank account sooner, Stripe may not be for you, but for the majority of business owners, for having the flexibility and ease of use of being able to offer to your customers one click to be able to take credit card, easy as.
Yeah, and then even beyond Stripe, if you don't want to use the credit card setup, you can look at Go Cardless, which is the direct debit version. So you need to be searching and researching these two tools that are going to help you get paid faster. Right, let's jump into settings, mate, and have a look. Where would set that up if somebody's watching?
Now, where do we go?
I think you got some payment services to your right there in your demo.
That's the one.
I can
You're
read.
A smart man. There we go.
Beautiful. So this company's already got two set up in the form of PayPal integration by the looks, right?
So that's another way of getting paid easier. You can link your PayPal account to your invoices. So this basically means that if you set up the payment services, when you email an invoice to a customer using the email function out of Xero, and I would strongly recommend that you do that.
Yeah.
When they get the electronic version, they can open that in their browser, and it will have the live link there for your customer at the other end to be able to click and go, well, I'll pay it by PayPal, I'll pay it by Stripe, or even go cardless, which was the other one that you mentioned before. But PayPal, Stripe, we just click get started, right?
Yeah.
No monthly, there you go, 2.9 plus 30%. Watch your money roll in. They're not wrong about that. And it's secure, it certainly is. The other thing I noticed with a client today, and this is probably part of the reason why we're going through this evening, is I logged into their Stripe account, and they've got an online shop, and that online shop got incredibly busy through the whole lockdown process. One thing that Stripe collates is everybody's email addresses.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So that's another place where you're going to have customers' data that you're going to want to download it and maybe upload that to your MailChimp for your regular newsletters if those people aren't already on your database, or into some of your other advertising channels. But we can go more about that later. But there was a huge database of email addresses in there.
Well, it'll be very good for a lookalike audience, or even just an audience on Facebook. And for those listening wondering what the hell we're talking about, again, write that down. Search for a Facebook lookalike audience. Have your mind blown, because it is a very, very, very powerful tool for e-commerce businesses, and something that still a lot of New Zealand businesses aren't making the most of.
No. So,
right.
Yes, we have an account.
Yep.
This will take us to Stripe. We're signed in.
That's the
Should
one.
take me to the Stripe website. You'd enter your email and password, click continue. If you've got two-factor authentication, you'll get the code on your phone, enter in the 6-digit number, and boom, you're away.
I might link that demo account up to our personal Next Advisory Stripe account, mate, and see if we can get some random payments coming through there. You never know.
Hey, that'd be smart. Get some money through from Xero. So then how that finally happens, just to show the people at home, is on invoice settings, I believe. When you go down here and you've done your payment services, you can do your preview, and I'm hoping it doesn't have it, but when you get the email, there'll be a link somewhere on there where you can click it and go pay now.
Yeah, that one's been paid by the looks. Yeah, so if you go into the dashboard, you might find that live template. If we can find an invoice that is to be paid, it was owing or overdue. Yeah.
Old Ridgeway University owes a bit of money, don't they?
Well, the old unis are doing it tough at the moment. Let's preview that.
Preview.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll come up. It needs to be. No, it's only on when you get it on the old email.
I see.
So,
coming out.
Yeah, because it comes up on the on your screen as another link.
Well, if anyone wants me to test it, I can send you an invoice for about $1,000, and you can pay us to test it.
For the punters at home, when somebody previews that or reads this invoice in their browser, they will have the ability to click on whatever the payment options that you've got. So on this one here, they've got the ability to pay by PayPal. If we've also got Stripe or Go Cardless, that'll be here as well. You can manage this, so you can do it on an invoice basis. So if you send out one invoice, you could have the ability to either add or remove payment services. So you might say, well, you don't want to have the ability to take credit card from all of your invoices, and you only want to do it on some of them, and you can just set up a template and assign that to particular types of work that you're doing, and get a bit of automation flowing.
Beautiful. Yeah, very, very nice little hack for some people that probably have no idea. What else you got for me, mate? Any other things that...
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, to continue the theme on Stripe, and back to the beginning of the convo, we were saying it's pretty easy to set up your bank accounts and get the bank feeds rolling in, and then kind of set up what you need to do to roll out invoices to your customers to make sure you get paid, and then it's kind of forgotten about anything beyond that. But I think it's quite important to also note that when you're dealing with Stripe, you can also add Stripe as a bank account to Xero.
There we go.
So you just search Stripe. This worked today for a client. There we go. Sign in and connect to Stripe. So it'll ask you to go through that process again. You sign in, do all of that, and then what will happen is we just go back. You go to your dashboard, and you'll have another account here exactly like this, and it'll be called, it'll just say Stripe, and the Stripe account number, it'll have the Stripe logo out there, and then you'll be able to track all of your sales coming in, all of the fees that Stripe take, and then the transfers from your Stripe account to your business bank account. So it's the Stripe account is exactly like another bank account, and it should be linked to Xero.
And will that have individual Stripe receipts? So if I had 20 in one day, does it give me the 20?
I believe so.
Okay, all right. We'll have to.
Not 100% sure. Haven't seen that in the flesh, to be honest. But stay tuned. That information is to come. And likewise, if you're on, so that was accounting, bank accounts, add bank accounts. Often, and accounts will ask you at the end of the year for all of your statements, because they've got nothing better to do with the time, is PayPal. You can link your PayPal account to Xero, and it'll have it as a bank account, just like your ASB or BNZ or ANZ or Kiwi bank account on your dashboard here. So don't overlook those as separate bank accounts to link up to Xero.
Providing knowledge bombs as always, mate. I like it.
Oh, look, we try. What else we got?
What about HubDoc? Seems to be gaining a fair bit more traction and getting invoices in for some clients. It might be applicable for others, not as much.
HubDoc. HubDoc? Whoops. HubDoc. There it is.
Especially for people that are adding the bills they have to pay into Xero, right?
Yeah. So HubDoc, HubDoc will collate all of your invoices and statements. It'll read them. There's some smart people at Xero that have created some smart IT called AI, and the ability to read your invoices, and it'll convert that into Xero language and push it into Xero, removing the need to manually process a whole heap of invoices that you might ordinarily have the paper version. And then the benefit of HubDoc as well is it's cloud storage as well. So you can keep all of your receipts, all of your bills and statements, bank statements, all that kind of stuff, all in one place. So it's like a cloud storage and document reader that integrates with Xero.
Nice. So in time, it sounds like with that, what I'm hoping to do is have it read any physical piece of paper or electronic PDF receipt that you send it, and basically put that straight into Xero and almost match it against the payment that's going out, right, and pre-reconcile it for you so that you're doing less and less reconciling.
Yep.
Well, we've got a long way to go, but I can see where they're heading.
Yeah, the automation has come along in leaps and bounds. And look, I can remember to the bad old days when working in a company doing accounts payable and receivable stuff, and the amount of manual data entry of having to process invoices in, and to think that function is now being pretty much automated is mind-blowing. HubDoc's not the only one that's available. You know, there's Receipt Bank, and we've got clients that use other programs where you email the document to the particular bit of software that you're using, it will use its technology to scan and read it, and flick that to Xero as a draft invoice for you to just have a final review before approving it prior to paying it.
Good man. So if someone does have that, then back over in Xero, do they need to link it up to their account?
Yeah, there will be do more with Xero HubDoc, and then there will be somewhere in here settings again, connected apps. There'll be somewhere here that you connect it somehow. Yeah. I haven't connected it to ours, so I'm guessing at the moment. Sorry, Craig and the team. I know you've worked hard on HubDoc, but we ain't using it.
They love it. If you go into click on demo and then click on that HubDoc in the drop down to see what that pulls up for us, I think that is where it gives you the ability to purchase it effectively for get it
set up HubDoc.
Yeah, so people do want to get it further.
Yeah, there you go. So reduce manual data entry. There you go, putting time back in your day.
Yeah, that's how we're going to, my opinion, that is how we're going to improve the economy. Through efficiencies.
Putting time back in people's day, yep.
Yeah, so that they can do more meaning and value add tasks, because data entry is not adding value, in my opinion, but I am no economic expert. Well, maybe I am.
Mate, you're just a modern net profit.
Net profit, that's right. We forgot I am net profit. That is me.
Yeah, yeah.
Net
after tax, or are you before tax?
Probably, I'm below the line, mate. I'm after tax, yeah.
Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah. I'm all sort of
righto. What other hacks were there in terms of apps? I guess if I think we've spoken about it before to the punters, is if you're doing something that is manual based, and HubDoc and the ability to read documents is a great example of that. There is a high chance that there will be an app out there that will be able to automate whatever it is that you're doing. There's some great apps out there that manage inventory, and they all integrate with Xero. So the need to be able to be doing manual journals and all this kind of stuff is gone. And it just makes your life as a business owner easier. And at the end of the day, the accountant's job easier, because the data that they're using is going to be a lot more accurate, which means that they can review it, translate it, and provide you with the more meaningful advice that's going to help you go ahead, rather than just doing a set of accounts and a tax return.
Oh, and charging you $4,500, but we're not looking at anyone in particular.
Yeah.
Even anyone in this day and age that's still using manual timesheets, you need to be asking yourself why. How come? How come you haven't moved to electronic timesheets that are going to put time back in your day and your staff's day and make things probably more accurate? So that's something we've been talking about quite a bit with clients recently, especially as they get a bit.
Yeah, I was blown away last year. We had that a fair bit, didn't we? Where we came across a couple of clients that were just getting their staff to complete timesheets on bits of paper, or that they'd end up being collated into Excel, and then that Excel would then be summarized, and somebody would then manually enter it into the payroll system. And then when you sit there and you go, well, what payroll system are you using? And they're either saying Xero, Smart Payroll, or iPayroll, you smack your head into a brick wall, because all three of those apps have got employee portals where they've got the ability to be able to enter their timesheets via the app on a smartphone. And, as we know, the majority of people these days have got a smartphone, and I'm pretty sure the majority of employees would be more than obliging to download an app to enter their time, to make their lives easier, to ensure they get paid, rather than doing it via the old-fashioned bit of paper, which would be highly prone to error.
And one of the things that we talk about a lot with the business planning work we do to identify some of these things is the 80-20 rule. So you want it over a week's time, or even a bit longer. You want to try and identify the things that are taking up 80% of your time, or that are pissing you off 80% of the time, or that keep coming up over and over again, and then start using those to go, right, how can I refine this process? How can I make sure I'm not angry at it anymore. How can I get some more time back from this one? And that's how you start ticking them off, and that's how you drive efficiency back through your business. And as we know, as we drive more efficiency, we usually drive more profit.
Yeah, that's the one. Are we done in Xero, mate? Are there any?
So, mate.
Back over.
Yeah, I think we'll
are there any questions from the punters? Anyone dropped in any emails at lnp@nextadvisory.nz? Not to be confused with the Great New Zealand Drink. These are the Great New Zealand Accountants. Yes. lnp@nextadvisory.nz.
Well, a bit of feedback around the podcast, which has been great. We've had our biggest ever week of listens, so good to see that the content that we're putting out there is obviously helping a lot of people, and especially recently with the advice around the low asset value threshold information that we know accountants are charging their clients for, at least $350 plus GST per hour on the old phone calls, 6 minutes at a time. There's an 18-minute podcast. It's about $1,000 worth of information you can listen to for free.
If they sack that handset and then bloody got the old AirPods going, they'd be able to multitask and make that $700 an hour, because they'd be able to have a phone call with one client and clear an email with the hands to another client.
And do your timesheet with... I
don't know how you do that in your timesheet, but you're essentially maximizing your 6-minute unit by doing two things at once.
Well, we could run a very efficient old school accounting practice, couldn't we, mate?
I tell you what, jeepers creepers. Or you could do it the other way. We just work 50% of the time, because we'd be able to get everything done, much quicker.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, look.
We'll get into some coaching for them soon. Anyway, speaking of coaching, we've got a beautiful day of training coming up for business owners on the 21st of August, the Challenge and Opportunities Day. It's going to be at Ellerslie Racecourse, plenty of parking, so no excuses. We've got 3 courses of food, I think, to get through, and 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, about 6 hours of learning for the people and learning from other business owners in an environment of like-minded people where no question will be a silly question. There's some common themes coming through, some of the challenges. We've prepared some content around some of those things, and then it will be an open forum, free-for-all. So we've guaranteed it. If you don't get any value out of the day, we'll give you your money back. So it's completely risk-free. And this has been a heap of fun when we did it on Valentine's Day, and I can only see it getting bigger and bigger going forward. So if you need to register, we can send you the link. Please just get in touch. You don't have to be a client. You can be a non-client, and you can bring somebody else along with you. So 2 people will cover your food as well. So make the most of that. You will get
be a bloody good day. I'm excited for it. Really can't wait. The last one was a heap of fun, and the people that attended got an absolute stack load out of it. So looking forward to ripping through it all again.
And then, of course, we have limited numbers who can jump into our online business planning course. There's a few different ways you can work with us. One is you can do it online and work through your own business planning course. Another way is that you can do the course, and obviously we guide you through it at the same time as well, and have some catch-up calls to see how you're getting on and challenge you on some of your thinking. And then, of course, you can work with us in person, which is a touch more expensive, but obviously a lot more intensive at the same time. But if you're just starting out and needing a business plan, you can take a look at our methodology that we've put together to help people put a business plan in place, because we know that businesses that do have a plan are more likely to succeed.
Absolutely. Gee, we've got a lot on the go there.
There is, mate. It's bloody full. We've got ProvTax on the go back in the accounting side of things at the moment. If you are listening and you've got a business, you should be thinking about your first installment on the 28th of August and whether you can pay that or not. And if you can't, what you're going to do, and then who you were going to ask. Yeah. What else, mate? There's just lots going on, isn't there?
There is an absolute stack load, which is exciting. No, I think you've covered it all off really well. The last one you touched on, people listening and downloading to the podcast. For those that are wondering what on earth we're talking about, we have launched in the last month or so. Look, I would go out on a limb and probably say New Zealand's best business-related podcast, where as award-winning chartered accountants and business advisors, we're providing a stack load of advice for free that accountants would typically send big bills for. And we're just having a whole heap of fun talking about it, aren't we? And there's another 4 or 5 episodes still in the pipeline to to roll out, and there's some absolute humdingers in there that I'm looking forward to getting the numbers on those to see what people have got to say about them and who downloads them. There's some absolute fantastic ones coming. If you're wondering, Spotify, Apple podcast, and it's called the What's Next podcast. Download it, you won't regret it. Plenty of advice.
Good man. Yeah, I mean, as much as we'd love to sit on the phone and help people individually one by one, it's just not an efficient use of our time. We can't get to as many people as we'd like to and as they'd actually need us. So the podcast has proved a really, really good way to be able to share some of the lessons that we're having along the way, and also a lot of non-clients listening and figuring out a bit more about what other business owners are going through that might be working on with us at a business advisory level, so that they're feeling, okay, this is normal, and then that's giving them a bit of encouragement. So some really cool feedback coming out of it. One of my favorite pieces was a guy that said, you guys just talk it in a way that you can actually fucking understand. I'm like, very good. Can you write that down? We'll put that on the website.
Put that on the website. That's perfect. Yeah. Brilliant.
All right, I'll leave you to it. I'm going to go and finish my evening off. No doubt the 7:30 slot is about to start for other people around there that want to tune into their Netflix and whatnot.
Yeah,
but again,
Coronation Street or something like that, won't it? And you'll get into your HelloFresh stir-fry box, no doubt.
I will be due to make a stir-fry. You have my word.
Good stuff.